Capital Views is sponsored by Northrim Bank, Alaska Oil and Gas Association, ConocoPhillips, and Linden.
Hi, I'm Tim Bradner with Alaska Legislative Digest, and welcome today to Capitol Views, and welcome also to Representative Jeremy Bynum from Ketchikan, new representative from District 1, far southeast of the state. Thanks for joining us, Jeremy.
Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you having me on your program here to talk a little bit about myself in District 1.
Well, what is your own background, Jeremy? What sort of things have you done, and how long have you lived in Ketchikan?
Sure. So my background, out of high school, I grew up in a small logging town, Roseburg, Oregon, and our community thrived on the logging industry. And as that industry there was a change in industry coming out of high school. I went to the Air Force and spent 6 years, just about 6 years in the Air Force. I had the opportunity to travel around the world. I spent about almost 4 years in Europe doing the Air Force mission. After that, I ended up going to college and getting my electrical engineering degree. I spent time working for the Army Corps of Engineers doing the hydropower mission across the United States, and most recently working in Ketchikan for the public utility there as the manager of the public utility. I made my way to Ketchikan while I was working with the Corps of Engineers. In the summertime, I'd take time away from work. It was a pretty demanding job, and I'd spend my summers in Ketchikan. I started doing that in 2011 and loved it so much. I always told myself if I could find, at the time, if I could always find an opportunity to move to this beautiful place in the world, that I would do that. And that opportunity came available with utility in 2016.
Well, I remember that they say about Ketchikan is it's the place where Alaska starts. And
That's right, for a city.
yeah.
That's right.
So in terms of how are things in Ketchikan right now? I know the community is, seafood is important, tourism is important, and the forces buffeting the seafood industry have got to have some impact in Ketchikan. But
Sure.
how are things?
I think overall we're experiencing many of the same issues that we see across the state. There is a lot of issues with dealing with housing and energy cost, uncertainty in our fisheries, in the market, in the fisheries, and how that impacts our community. We have tremendous amount of opportunity there. We know that we've seen big growth in our tourism industry, and that leads to other opportunities with small businesses springing up from local community members. Uh, COVID was a big impact to that as well. So I think we're coming out of that pretty well, but we do face a lot of challenges, and those challenges, like I said, really revolve around the cost of housing and energy to be living in that community.
Jeremy, I mean, hydropower is very important in Ketchikan. Um, does that help stabilize the energy cost? Can you meet all of your energy requirements, power requirements with hydro?
Sure, absolutely. Hydropower. That's what I've spent most of my career working is in the hydropower business line. Ketchikan is our primary power source is hydropower electricity, and we have some of the lowest electric rates in the state because of those capital investments that were made early on in the big boom of hydropower in the state. And so 99% of the electricity generated in Ketchikan comes from hydropower. Half of that is done by the municipally owned electric utility, and the other half of that is through a partnership with the Southeast Alaska Power Agency. And so we do have a reliable power source. But where the energy part also comes in is its heating of homes. There's about half of our homes in Ketchikan are still heated off of heating oil. But that's not just for Ketchikan. There's other parts of our district that are also impacted by the needs to heat homes. So I didn't say this, but my district encompasses Ketchikan, Wrangell, Metlakatla, On north of Prince of Wales, we have Kaufman Cove, we have Whale Pass, we have Hyder, another small community that we have over in the mainland, just north of the border there. So we have a very diverse community and a lot of different needs throughout the district.
Jeremy, in the old days, timber and forest products was very important in Ketchikan. You had a pulp mill there, and it was a major industry. Is there anything? I mean, timber has declined in recent years. Is there much left of it? Are there still some mills operating?
Absolutely. We still have timber operators in the region still operating. It's definitely not what it used to be back when the mill was operating at full capacity and the hustle and bustle of the timber industry. But we do still have some timber there. We do hope that as we look into the future, there's going to be opportunities to revitalize our timber industry. We are aware that it's never going to be uh, likely never going to be what it was before, but there's a tremendous opportunity for us to explore getting back into timber, seeing that production happen again, and maybe creating some local value added with those resources. And so I think that's an exciting thing that's coming at us.
Is there any value being done now? It doesn't, as I recall, Viking Lumber in Quokwak
Yeah,
makes certain kinds of products,
sure.
not just lumber.
There absolutely is some value added happening now, but we would like to see that grow. And there's opportunities that we're looking at when we talk to the communities in Wrangell, over on Prince of Wales. We'd even like to see some of that happening right in the Ketchikan area. And then even I know Metlakatla has had some conversations about seeing some things with new economic growth happening over there as well.
Is the Are things pretty stabilized with the ferry system now?
Well, I'm glad you brought up the ferry system. I wouldn't categorize it as stable. It's stable in the sense that we know where we're at, but we have a long way to go when it comes to making sure that we get a reliable ferry system back. I've been working really hard, as well as my predecessor, to make sure that people understand that we need our highway system. It is vital for our communities and the growth of our communities.
Is there enough operational capacity now to meet the demand in the ferry system?
I don't. I think that there. I think that there's definitely an opportunity for us to meet the demand that we need to see. I don't think that we're doing that very well right now.
Yeah. Well, there's always challenges. It seems like anywhere in Alaska, there's challenges that people can face up to, but Alaskans are pretty creative, and we've overcome a lot of obstacles in the past.
We definitely have a great community great communities in District One. We're very resilient. We rely on each other, and sometimes we have rivalries between Ketchikan and Wrangell and some of the other places, but those are healthy rivalries that we have, and that we always come together in time of need. And we've seen those challenges in the past couple of years with some natural disasters in both Wrangell and Ketchikan. Our communities pulled together and showed what it means to be Alaskans.
Well, well, it's a good story, and I look forward to continuing the conversation, Jeremy. Thank you for joining us.
I really appreciate the time to be here, and I look forward to telling a little bit more about our communities in District 1 as we move into the future.
Well, we'd be happy to help with that.
Thank you very much.
This is Tim Bradner with Capital Views, and thank you for joining us, Representative Jerry Bynum. Thank you.